everyone, I'm Brian Andres from Drum Magazine. We're here with the Afro-Caribbean practice pad lesson, traveling through the Caribbean and beyond on 4 notes. All right, so the entirety of this lesson is really going to just be based on a 4-note phrase. It's going to sound like this: a 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so exercise 2, we're going to add a hi-hat to that to help the groove along. This 4-note pattern is really adaptable. You find it in all types of music coming out of the Caribbean, the United States, as far as Africa, the Middle East. It's really quite common. So we're going to just add a hi-hat quarter note pulse. It's going to line up with the bass drum. It sounds like this: 1, 2, 1, 2. You can play really fast tempos that way because you're only playing a quarter note pulse on the hi-hat. So if you're asked to play a really fast tempo, it works really well. 1, 2, 1, 2. So in exercise 3, we're going to slow that tempo back down, and we're going to add 1/8 notes to the hi-hat. It's a much more common to play this like at a mid-range tempo. So the 1/8 notes are going to help us subdivide that beat up a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so exercise 4, we're going to mess around with the hi-hat a little bit. You can open the hi-hat on the ands to give it a different feeling. This is kind of a common thing that happens in the music of Trinidad, soca, opening the hi-hat on the and. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, to build on that, in exercise 5, we're going to add a little syncopated part to the hi-hat. We're going to add the E of the quarter note. So now you'll be playing 1 E and, 2 E and, 1 E and, 2 E and. This is also really common in soca music from Trinidad. A 1, 2, 1, 2. So taking that syncopation a little bit farther, we can borrow a rhythm that's commonly found in Puerto Rico, bomba music, and apply that to the same thing. We're thinking of that as 1 and E and, 1 and E and. With our 4-note pattern together, it goes like this: 1, 2, 1, 2. Or to take that even one step farther, in Martinique, it's a really common thing to play that exact pattern, but to open the hi-hat on the and. So the and of 2, I should say. So we're going to keep everything else the same, but open the hi-hat on the and of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So for our final example, we're going to go ahead and play a measure of 4/4 and play a nice syncopated part that's going to have us play the hi-hat going 1 and 2 E and 4 E 1. All right, so it's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we add our bass drum snare and part to that, and we get a nice measure of 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. so with all of those examples, they're very adaptable to the rest of the drum set. We centered around the hi-hat, but you can put that cowbell. You can go to the ride cymbal, the bell of the ride cymbal. You can even move around to the tom-toms. I'm just going to go ahead and play a little bit, try to keep that groove happening, and we'll see what happens. All right, so thanks for joining us here at Drum Magazine and the Afro-Caribbean Practice Pad lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.